Hello, so I was out in the shop tonight, and this hangs over the door going in and out of the shop. It's a metal map for my old Warhammer Fantasy Battle campaign that I created a Army cyberboard file for. I also created Army Builder files for Warhammer 3rd Edition. I was really heavily into the game at one time, and just in gaming in general, but I did not react very well to Age of Sigmar.
Straight away.
In fact, it kind of knocked me out of the hobby for a while, but thanks to Facebook groups and people on YouTube who are solo players and everything, it's kind of reinvigorated me. And I wanted to share with you the campaign system that I had created. There's going to be links in the description to the various files you need, and what follows is hopefully enough information to get you started. And you can download and you can play this campaign, and maybe you'll get some use out of it. So here goes. Okay, so here's a quick walkthrough on how to do the fantasy campaign. You're going to need to download Cyberboard. I'm going to try to provide links to all this in the description, as well as a Dropbox link to the rules and the Cyberboard game box. So you get started, you want to go into Cyberboard Play, and you're going to open that up, and then as the game master, this is what the game master needs to do. The players don't have to do any of this, but this is what the game master needs to do. He needs to create a new scenario, then click OK. You're going to use the WFB GBX file, which is included in the Dropbox location. You're going to open that up. First thing you're going to have to do is pick the board you want. So we're going to double click and we're going to select the old world. Okay. So now we can view that, and we can actually make it a little bit bigger. So here's the map board. You can see it's divided into locations. Each location has a number indicating the relative strength of the local intrinsic defense of that area. So in order for your players to conquer that area and begin getting taxation or tribute from it, they have to have an army big enough to do that. So this 1 point area, you need to end the turn with 1,000 points in there. So what you want to do next is you want to view the marker palette. Everything's a marker in this game. It's pretty simple, this game box. You can actually see that I just put it over top of a hex map. So it's just a paste on top of it. But this is the old world. So depending on the number of players you have and the type of armies they have, you have to select a starting place for each player. I used a 2 point location for each player to start from, and for the most part that works. Chaos doesn't really have much of that, but let's say for example you want to start an Empire player. So you come over here and select the color for the Empire lands, and you can edit all of these you can open the game box, the Cyberboard creator, and you can edit these tiles however you want to. So we have a player here, and we're going to start him in mid and high. So this is now marked as his lands, and I'm going to double click on this, and it's going to create a pop-up tooltip, and I'm going to put in, this is John Doe, and I can write his email address, jd at whatever .com. So this provides a pop-up tooltip so that when the other players get this map, they can pause their cursor over top it, and they'll get a pop-up tooltip of this particular player, and the game master can then edit it however he wants to. The other thing you need to put in here is how much gold they currently have. It might have 100, whatever. Keep track of the gold. You can also do things like name particular characters, something like that. So that's how you do that. Now, he's going to need, these are the control markers. So let's come up here and go to the armies, find his color for Empire. Okay, here he is. So we're going to give him an army to start with too. And this is his beginning starting army. And we're going to say this army has 750 points. He can name his leader if he wants to. And it has 0 experience. So that's all the real record keeping you have to do, and the map board takes care of all that for you. So there you go. Now, each of your players needs to be positioned. It depends on how many players you have in your particular campaign. So this scenario, you will then email to all of your players, and they'll open it up and they'll observe the situation. So this particular Empire player gets this. So here we see a 3-player game set up centered around Marienburg, just to give you an example of how moves are conducted. Each player has their name, the amount of gold that is in the marker that indicates the land that they begin with. So there you have the Skaven down here. Each army begins with 750 points and 0 experience. So the players will each get this via email, and they can open it up in their own cyberboard program and take a look at it. What they will do is they will email the game master with what they're attempting to do, and he will take the arrows and place them. So the Dark Elf player has chosen to go there. The Skaven player has chosen to advance up to the mountains, and what we can do is rotate here we go. We can rotate this object here to indicate that the arrow is pointing up towards the mountains. And the Empire army has decided to advance into Marienburg. Each of these players is anxious to get some battles in. What happens is the game master will then send out this file here with the moves indicated. The players will have emailed the game master. There is one battle in this particular turn. It will be a meeting battle. So this move is uncontested. The Skaven player will be able to move up to here. These two guys are going to have to come in here and play their game. So in this example, let's say that the Empire player has won. And at the end of the battle, he gets retreated back here. And this, he won a, let's just say he got 200 experience out of this battle. For whatever reason, the Dark Elf player lost, and he got perhaps 100 experience. But he also lost some troops, so he's lost, let's just say he took a minor loss, for example, and he's lost 10%, so he has a little bit less points. So the end of turn wrap up, we're going to delete all of these. And then create a new start file for turn 2. Now, this is sort of this is how the game plays, because it's based on diplomacy. You use the red markers to indicate moves. So in the next turn, the Empire player decides to attack the Dark Elf player to attempt to continue to pressure him and get him to fall back even further and threaten his lands. The Skaven player decides to launch an attack on the Empire player. And the Dark Elf player is going to support the Skaven player. They've worked out an alliance. So here's what happens in this instance. The Empire player's move is canceled because he was attacked over here. Now, if he had attacked the Skaven player, whoever wins the battle will cancel the other guy and move into his area. So if these two had attacked each other, the Empire player would have moved in here, the Skaven would have had to have retreated. If the Skaven had won, the Empire would have been pushed back and the Skaven would have been here. But in this case, the Empire player was attacked from a different direction. So their move is canceled, And what the Game Master will do is place a white arrow down. White arrows indicate moves that were canceled, or that were attempted but were canceled. So the Empire player's move is canceled because he has been attacked with a spoiling attack from the Skaven, but the Dark Elves are also going to support in this battle. So the next battle we have here is this 750 point Empire army. And it's not a defending battle because he didn't stay put. It's being attacked by this Skaven army and supported by this Dark Elf army. So in this particular battle, it'll be a three-way battle. Now the Dark Elf player can choose to betray the Skaven and attack him later. So in this instance, the Empire player can choose that he's too outnumbered. He'll just take a loss and fall back. Or he can play it out. He may miraculously win. But let's just say, for example, that during the move, when the Empire player announced he was moving over there, he spent his gold that he had gotten that turn, because each turn you get gold based on your land. He may have purchased some Dogs of War. So for this particular battle, he may have 200 points of Dogs of War available. They'll be eliminated at the end of the game, so he decides to stay and fight. So this would be a 950 point battle versus 750 plus 675 here. So that's how you play the game. That's how Dogs of War work. Each turn you will get 200 gold because you have 2 points in your land. If the Empire player takes over the Wasteland, which he could do soon, he will have, after this battle, he should have enough experience points to build a 1,000-point army, and then he can go up to the Wasteland and take that land. Then he'll get 300 gold per turn. Then he can move over here and take the Middle Mountains. Then he'll get 400 gold per turn. So it's a combination of fighting to gain experience and build bigger armies, then move your armies around to take territories. And once you get a 2,000-point army, then you can start taking over 2-point lands and gaining even more tribute and taxation. So this is just an example I wanted to give you of the interplay between moves, support moves, canceled moves, the ability to hire Dogs of War. You do have to announce that when you email your turn to the Game Master. So that's the turn there. This will set up narrative battles for you. It works in that regard of creating a story, creating a place for the game, for the battle. It really works good if there's a lot of players. Players can transfer gold between each other at any time. They can work out alliances and betray each other. I think that aspect is pretty fun. And if anyone actually plays this, if you can leave a comment and let me know where your message board's at, I would just like to drop by sometime and read some of the shenanigans that go on. I find that very amusing. And at the end of each turn, the Game Master can also publish a little update on the forum or message board telling everybody what happened that particular turn. This will work to give you narrative battles. If you have tournament players or very hyper-competitive players around, I've never really got along with those types very much. I'm more of a narrative fluff player. And I will tell you, they will hate this. And they probably will cause you a lot of problems if you're trying to run the game, because they'll just hate it. They'll complain a lot, and they'll just destroy the campaign for you. Because right away, they're looking at this saying, oh, I only have 950 points for this battle. These other guys have 1375 or something like that. This is totally unfair, bogus, whatever. Whereas, you know, a narrative player might say, oh, I've been beset by several foes. Hey, you know, I'll give it a try, and if maybe I can win the battle and inflict some damage on these guys. Maybe I can kill a hero or something. Who knows? So there you have it. This is just a campaign system, and I actually went in and re-edited this video because I didn't do a very good job the first time. So this is my second attempt at posting this video. So I hope you get a chance to download this and use it. Hopefully you might have a few laughs with it, and your friends may enjoy it. Okay, thanks for watching.